As promised, Photoshop. What I've got here is my Photoshop. I'm going to try and sell two pictures that I've took that I think are particularly beautiful. One is a sunbird and the other is a giraffe. And as you can see, there is I display them. There's two buttons and there is a shopping cart. In the shopping cart it says, well, I order no sunbird and the total is no euros. And if I click it, it doesn't do anything yet. It just shows an alert. Let's show how this works, and let's try and see if we can get this shopping cart to work. First of all, in the file I've got some CSS that make sure that the site looks the way it should, and I want to point you to first of all the button and the other button that have two IDs, and the shopping cart that has two order lines that you've seen that are just inside of a paragraph. It's just plain text, and there's also a total that we are going to do something with in the homework. The script itself has well, got nothing really new in it. There is well, two listeners that react to the buttons that are clicked, and there's two functions. Well, you've seen that they just alert a bird or something. The strategy that we're going to employ is the same as in the previous video, where we have this counter and we up the counter, and based on the counter we can calculate how many euros we are going to have to spend. And so we're going to do the same thing as we did in the previous video. I'm just going to create two counters, but I'm going to give them a name that is meaningful. So I just say var, and I say birds bought is 0, and for giraffes bought is 0. Now every time this bird is bought, I'm just going to say, well, this bird bought is the previous value of bird bought plus 1. And for the giraffes, I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to take this giraffe bought, and I'm going to say, I'm just going to take the previous value of it and add 1 to it, and save the new value in giraffes bought. Now every time the button, one of the buttons is clicked, one of the counters is upped by 1. Now if I make a function that says update shopping cart, and I call this function in each of these functions, what I can do here is, based on these variables, calculate what I should write here. So first of all, I need to find this order line. So I'm going to say document.get element by ID and say order line 1. I'm going to take the inner HTML of it, and I'm going to say, well, first I need to say, well, basically put the counter there. So I'm going to say birds bought plus, and now I'm going to append a string to it, and I'm going to say care of times sunbird is, and I'm going to say birds bought times 200, because that's the price of my my photo. And maybe I'll even add euro to it. So now it's going to say, well, if I click it once, it's going to say 1 times sunbird equals 200 euros, and the second time 2 times sunbird equals 400 euros. Let's test this. I'm saving it, go to Firefox, reload, and we're going to click, and there we go. Hey, only worked the first time. Why is that? Let's have a look. There you go. It shouldn't have said is equals 1, it should have said plus 1. Let's test this. There you go. Now it works. And we can do the same thing for the giraffe. I can just take this line, copy it. Oh, and I've accidentally copied the accolade as well. Can say take order line 2, which is this one. Now don't take the bird counter, but the giraffe board counter, and say giraffe equals giraffe board times, and this is a very expensive picture because it's very nice. Well, let's see what happens. So the total is still not working, but that's a homework assignment, so I'm not gonna go into that. But what you can see is that we've used a variable to store a value, and to use it later on in the script.